Hello everyone and welcome back to Two Bros Hot Takes, where we watch a movie and then tell you if you should watch a movie. I'm your movie watching host, Older Bro.
I'm your other movie watching host, Younger Bro.
And today we are back with week 2 of watching a movie every week again for several weeks. Because, there's a lot of movies. There's movies up till Christmas that we have to watch every single week, and one we can't watch because we ran out of weeks.
And then at the start of next year, pretty much we have more movies again.
Yeah, it's not quite that tight, but it's about that tight.
But hey, so at least they're not all Marvel.
They are not all Marvel. They are explicitly not all Marvel. I think there's no Marvel movies upcoming in this block.
No. There's some Disney Plus stuff, but that's about it.
Yeah. So, all of that to say, what are we here talking about today? Well, it is Wish, the Disney 100 movie.
If you wished us to do a hot take on this movie, then wish granted.
Yeah, so, okay, technically, I guess I should be forthcoming. There is technically a movie that we are watching upcoming it's not a Marvel movie, but it is a superhero movie, but it's not a Marvel movie. But, there's no Marvel movies for quite a long time. So, so guys, first and foremost, talking about Wish, this is a Disney princess movie, vaguely. She is vaguely a Disney princess. She's not the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is about a Disney princess, sort of. But, so, going into this movie, you should expect the normal Disney princess tropes. There's going to be, singing in it. So, this is another one of those movies that Younger Bro will generally not like because it has singing in it. So, I did want to talk about the singing.
It's still not as bad as Into the Woods.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
My ground, like how we
your
do
line
more, my line is Into the Woods.
Okay, that's fair. I will say, listening
Disney
to the songs,
movies kind of get a pass, except if it's Into the Woods.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think Into the Woods was a Disney movie.
It was.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was by somebody else, but not the point.
No.
Anyways, I did want to talk about the music in this because there were several good songs in it that I greatly enjoyed.
Very good songs.
I did think there was one or two that I was like, you probably could have cut that song. There was a couple times where I was like, you just had a song about 5 minutes ago. You could space it out a little bit. This movie, by the way, is short. It is an hour and a half long.
Very short.
So I feel like the number of songs would have been fine for a 2.5 hour movie, but this is a 1.5 hour movie, and I'm like, you could have cut a song or two from this movie. So I felt a little bit of Younger Bros, we don't need this much singing. But, the songs were overall good.
The songs were good. The only song I got annoyed with was the main song.
Oh, the one in the main trailer? The one that they play over the So I Make This Wish? Yeah.
I Make This Wish.
Yeah.
I only got annoyed to it because they basically redid it again.
I was gonna say it was played 3 times in that movie, so it is the song of the movie. So.
I like that song, I really do.
Yeah,
the first time I heard it.
Yeah, that's fair. So, but yeah, it's overall, I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a good movie, but keep in mind it is a Disney princess movie. It is also, I will say this, they've said this movie is 100 years in the making. And I will say that is accurate. Maybe not in the way that you think it is, but it is accurate to say this movie is 100 years in the making. Honestly, this movie feels like the history of Disney as a company. This movie kind of encapsulates all of Disney. So if you want to watch a movie that is the history of Disney without being Walt Disney started the Disney Corporation in 1909 at this point and did this thing. If you don't want to watch an actual documentary about Disney, this movie kind of does that in Disney's own princess way.
Speaking of which, there is a post-credit scene that we did not stay for. It's some documentary that it was similar to Element.
Yeah, I was gonna say we weren't actually told it was a documentary, but it was specifically said, because Younger Bro looked it up. It's specifically about stuff it showed scenes of Disney scenes and stuff like that. So it's nothing about this movie. So you do not need to sit through the credits. There is nothing in the credits that just leave. When the movie's done, just leave.
Alright, so did I think it's a good movie? It is a decent movie. I do not hate it. I don't really hate any of the songs. I was slightly annoyed with the main song. That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie is bad in any way. Would I rewatch it again? Yeah. If nothing else was on and that was on, I'd watch it.
I was gonna say, it's one of those movies where it's like, it's not a standout movie. Like, I would personally rewatch, like, Elemental. I'd personally rewatch.
Oh, I already rewatched Elemental.
I'd rewatch Elemental. I'd rewatch Encanto. I'd rewatch Frozen. Probably Frozen 2 over Frozen, but I would rewatch both those. I'd rewatch the one Pixar movie. Yeah, it was
Cars.
Panda.
Kung Fu Panda?
No, the red panda.
Oh,
yeah, I'd rewatch that movie.
Seeing Red?
Yeah. This is definitely a movie where I would rewatch it, but I would rewatch it less than those other movies. All those other movies have like I don't know how to best describe it. They have like a good solid message and story to them. And like I said, this movie is more a summary of all Disney movies. Like all princess Disney movies for the past 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, it definitely feels a bit less powerful than like watching Princess and the Frog. Like, I'd rewatch Princess and the Frog many times just because the music in that is so good and the villain's so good. It's like, nothing about this movie's bad. The movie is good. It's just, there's everything, it's kind of been made to be every Disney movie. So nothing is that standout either.
Yeah, it's hard for this movie to really stand out.
Yeah, so most other Disney movies are better than this movie, but it is still a good movie.
I think the best thing the movie has going for it is the story. I really like the story.
Yeah, story was good. So, anything else we want to talk about before we move on to the spoiler section?
No.
All right. So yeah, I think both of us would agree. Go watch this movie. It's if you aren't super into the Disney princess movies, this is a movie you could definitely wait until it's on Disney Plus to watch. It's not something you need to absolutely go watch now, but it's a good movie. If you need a movie to watch this week, you can go watch this movie. It's good.
Yeah. So, okay, spoiler section starts now.
Yeah.
We did say that this is a princess movie. It
isn't. I was gonna say, it is a princess movie in the sense that the main girl is the normal, typical Disney princess, and then the actual queen is involved, and she is like more the actual princess in this. Like, it's weird. It's not strictly a Disney princess movie in the same way that, like, I don't know, Princess and the Frog is a princess movie, even though she's only a princess because she married a prince.
I think the best song in that movie was Knowing What I Know Now.
Yeah.
That
was a great song. Yeah. I don't know if that song was made by Lin-Manuel Miranda, but it kind of reminded me of Lin-Manuel Miranda songs. So
like, and it was so fucking hilarious. They all stopped to see the queen, and then she starts singing
She's
with
like,
them.
Nope, keep going!
Fuck!
Encore!
Damn.
Yeah, now, as I was saying previously in this review, I was talking about how this is a summary of every Disney movie, and I mean it's a summary of every single Disney movie. They make several references to every possible Disney movie. Like, there's a drawing on the desk that's literally the Disney ears. They literally have, one of the wishes is, I want to be Peter Pan. One of them is, I want to be Mary Poppins. Like, they literally reference pretty much every Disney property at some point in this movie.
I only caught 4.
Yeah. But it's like, they do a lot of different references. The funny thing was, sitting through this movie, because I have friends who are a lot more negative on Disney. They don't like the direction Disney's taken. They don't, with a lot of their movies and with a lot of their shows. And they've definitely felt like a lot of their movies have been, the way I'll describe it is I've heard a lot of people complaining about, like, the modern state of movies being, like, taking guys and, like, making them just terrible characters and then empowering all the women as good characters, which this movie does do, in the sense that the man is the villain and the woman is the hero. So I definitely understand where they're coming from in that. But I want to say that, like, the funny thing was, in this movie, I honestly felt like the king was Disney. Like, it reminded me of, like, Disney's overall arc in pop culture of, like, we're gonna start out as a company that just makes dreams come true, to the current state of Disney of just being like, we'll make the dreams we want to come true. The rest of your dreams, they can go die. And it's...
Yeah.
When I say this movie is Disney, I mean it's literally about Disney. Disney is the villain in this movie.
The kingdom in this movie is the kingdom we see at the start of every Disney film.
This movie, the villain in this movie is the Disney Corporation. And the Disney Corporation loses, so I don't know how to feel about that. But, like, yeah, it's... I'm happy that Disney understands the shit that's thrown at them. I like that Disney is like, we understand how you feel about us. We're gonna make ourselves the villain in this story because we're the villain. Fuck it. Like,
yeah, so that was hilarious.
But yeah, how did you feel about the star?
The star was one of the best characters in the movie.
It's like there's so many random moments where the star is just doing something that's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Especially when you meet the star, when he's so happy and he just stares at you with blank face.
Yeah, just... Wait, there was that moment in the movie where he, like, did, like, it was like a weird turn of the camera where he almost did, like, a horror turn, where it's just, like, this slow, like...
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was just talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but, like, it's so good. Just... But there's so many moments where it's just like, I'm just gonna fashion myself a dress and just go dancing.
That was so fucking hilarious.
I'm going to sneak around by putting on this mustache and sneak. It's like,
I love the star.
The star is such a great character.
And then the goat is also another great character.
Yeah, so great. So
the side characters, they probably do the best.
The side characters are very good in this movie.
The movie.
I think most of the standout characters, because a lot of the entourage that she has in this movie aren't really that standout. Like, she's
the best friend probably stood out.
The best friend, and then the one short kid.
The short kid, and the one that disappears and reappears. That.
Oh yeah, the girl is just like, who's just like,
hello.
Yeah, hello, yeah, an actual horror girl. It's like, what the fuck?
How do you do that?
Yeah, they're the only real standout characters among the cast. There's like 4 other people that just. It's just like they could have probably trimmed that group down a little bit. But they're fine.
But yeah, I don't know if I agree that a couple of the songs could have been cut. Like, there was just enough songs in here that I thought, it's alright.
Yeah, it's...
Like, it's not overarching like Into the Woods was.
Well, Into the Woods is meant to be... Like, I don't know if... I didn't watch Into the Woods.
I know it's an opera.
But yeah, it's meant to be an opera. And in operas, everything is song. So there is no talking. It's just the art form. That's how it works. But yeah, this is just a musical where they accent the moment with a song.
Yeah, and Wish is fine.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most amount of music I can stand is a Wish kind of style Disney movie.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. I'm not necessarily saying that I think that there was too much music in this movie. There were definitely a couple songs, and I don't even remember what they were. But there was a couple songs where I was like, this song kind of feels like a B or C tier song. You probably could have cut this one. It's like, but overall, I think most of the songs worked in their moments. It's like,
yeah, I think the only one that they could have cut was the introductory one. That one I think we could have did without. But
yeah, I have to think which one the introductory one was.
Welcome to the Kingdom.
That one was fine. I think they were trying to go for another Welcome to the Family Madrigal, and it wasn't as impactful.
Work as...
Yeah. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't it wasn't that outstanding.
Exactly.
That is, again, I think that's the big message of this movie. It's a good movie, but nothing is outstanding. Because it's meant to be a synopsis. So it's like, nothing is that impactful.
But
the most impactful song was the main song, which they played 3 times.
I gotta say, there was one thing I hated in this movie.
Okay.
and that was how the villain was defeated.
Oh yeah, just the
We
yeah.
don't really grasp what the hell happened to him.
Yeah, that's
And
I think that's
that
one of
I
the
hated.
I think that's one of the things
And we
where
do get no information. Okay, we get a little bit. It was so bad that he had to start this whole kingdom.
yeah, it's literally the
but-
entire history of him is like, yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me be clear. Are you talking about what happened to him before the movie or the end of how he's defeated? I want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Because they don't really go into his backstory a lot either. Of like, he just says vaguely something happened to his family.
That's it.
Okay, so you're talking about his backstory. Yeah. We
So-
don't. That's one of the things that I said this movie is an hour and a half. I think they could have made it a 2-hour movie and added a little bit to his backstory. Because like his
Because we
backstory
don't
is, like-
really grasp
Yeah.
like the sheer like intensity as to why he keeps all these wishes to himself.
Exactly. That's
he is
one of
not
the-
the worst person in the fucking
yeah,
world.
that's one of the things
that's
about
why I
this
hate-
movie.
his ending.
Yeah, because the thing with this, I'm gonna compare this to Encanto because I think this has a similar story structure to Encanto. In Encanto, you don't really understand why the grandmother is so like downtrodden of her granddaughter, but by the end, you've picked up stuff throughout the entire movie, and then by the end, they go in that depth and they talk about like, we're literally fleeing the Spanish Inquisition. My husband was murdered in front of my eyes, and I just wished for help, for safety, to be protected from this shit. And that's why she's so protective of everyone, of just like, I don't want to see my children and grandchildren and neighbors murdered by the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah,
and it's like, and that was impactful. It was a heavy moment, and you get nothing like that.
You
in this
get
movie.
nothing.
It
is-
you see a flag, it's burnt, and he's sad, and that's it.
That's all you get.
Yeah, he's
And I don't like that.
yeah. It's like I really wish they would have went in something, because that is the big thing with this villain. He's insecure, basically. At the end of the day, he starts this. His entire plot in this movie is just I'm scared that people are going to revolt from me, and then because I'm so fearful of that, I'm going to become more oppressive and evil. Like, I'm going to tap into dark magic and, like, turn evil because I'm so scared of being revolted against. But he's a great king and everyone loves him. Like, it's like he just has these negative thoughts that just fuck him over until he's literally
Yeah, and we get no
unsavable.
context as to why.
Yeah. Yeah.
All we get is he feels that he's been threatened, and that's about it.
It's like they needed to build up his backstory a little bit to understand why he's so afraid of that. Did a friend betray him?
Yeah, and-
Did somebody try to rebel against him before? Something.
I think
Like-
his family got fucked over by his wish in some form of way, and that's why.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it was a wish. Like, because what it sounded like was that his family, his family just got, like, I was thinking it was some kind of war. Like, his family was attacked by, like, soldiers from some kingdom or something. And he just,
It
he just-
seemed like
yeah.
it was from a wish, and
Yeah.
that's why he harbors all the wishes for himself.
yeah, but they needed to go further in depth of that if that's the level of, like, I'm protecting these wishes not just from, because that's the great thing in this movie. He gives a decent reason. It's a bit, like, overblown, but he talks about, like, this wish is too vague. I don't know what they mean by this. Like, I want to do this thing, but this thing could be a good thing or a very bad thing. But the thing that he should do is go and talk to the people.
Yeah, why didn't she say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
why
he could,
haven't?
he could
Well,
just look
okay.
at the wish, go bring the person in and say, hey, I want to give you
This
back
is your
this,
wish.
I want to give you back this wish, and I'd like you to wish again, but a little bit more specifically this time, because it's unclear to me what you mean, and I can't,
And that
Like,
would have
it's something.
so
Yeah,
much.
but yeah, it's like,
But
give-
he goes from 9 to like 100 in
Yeah,
an instant,
exactly.
and I hated that too.
yeah, it's like,
It's
if
like
they,
he just turned to dark magic immediately.
yeah,
I'm
it's like if they had shown a flashback to him doing something like that, to like granting a wish without, or like that was vague, or trying to help somebody to clarify what they mean so that he can grant their wish better, and them like betraying him or fucking him over in some way, then I could understand this transition, even though it'd still be wrong. Like, it's going way too far, but like, I'd at least understand why he's in the place he's in.
know.
So it's like,
So I think the worst thing in this movie is how they did the villain.
yeah, the villain, I like the character,
I
and
like him.
and I think that villainous turn was the correct way to go with him. But it's just like, you needed to give more backstory, more explanation as to why. Give us
Yeah.
something a little bit more.
And they just...
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, it's like,
So...
yeah. But otherwise, it's like, I liked his wife. I liked how she was like so worried about him. It's like,
I
she comes in and just like, just sits there or just stands there and just like, what are you doing? Everyone loves you. What is going through your mind right now? Why are you so worried? And like, and again, they don't go into it, but it's just like, but she's a great wife.
Like, and she understands because she knows.
Yeah,
and we don't know.
Yeah, she said, like, I've came along with you this entire time. I've been there for you throughout building this entire kingdom. And it's like, you know that she has experienced all of the pain and torment he's ever had. And it is so sad that she is not enough to help him. That nothing is enough to help him because he just can't get past whatever the hell this is.
All we know is whatever kingdom or whatever happened into his past was burnt to the ground, probably by a wish of some sort.
Yeah, and it even makes sense that he is so worried when somebody comes along that is that's able to grant magic without him doing it. You see that because he's just like, no, they might be here to take all these wishes away. We don't know what they're about. We need to do something about this.
Yeah, and that is general worry.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing, is just he has anxiety. Like a dangerous level of anxiety. And it's just like, he needs medical help. Like, if you are as anxious as this king, please seek medical attention immediately.
And he could afford it. Like, he has,
yeah.
So.
But yeah, it's like.
Yeah, it goes from 1 to 100 to overthrow the king immediately. It's like.
The other thing I want to flash back to in this movie, because the way he's defeated, with him being literally absorbed into his own staff. Oh, by the way, the other thing, one of the other things I was thinking of is him being the mirror on the wall.
That was great.
Yeah, like, great. But the way he was defeated honestly reminds me a lot of Princess and the Frog, which we honestly get more information on the villain, like the magic in that, than in this movie. In the sense that he goes into like, yes, I've got these friends on the other side that I owe a lot of favors to, and don't worry, I can definitely get you this entire city's worth of souls. Don't worry about it. And you understand why he was captured by whatever evil magic voodoo bullshit he's been working with. In this movie, it's more just, he taps into these spells that are dark magic, and they corrupt him, and then he gets trapped in the staff, apparently. And it's like, what?
That made no sense.
Yeah, it's like, I get the whole, that they needed the star and the staff for it to be useful, but why did the star leaving mean that it needed something in it
what
now?
I thought was going to happen was maybe the star took the corrupted magic and made it into light magic.
Oh, see, I just thought that he was just going to leave, and it was going to be a worthless staff, and it would do nothing, and he'd just be angry. But it's like, that's why I'm like, I don't...
No, nothing like that.
It's like, he's
imprisoned.
Yeah, he's just in prison. So it's like, I'm not sure there's quite enough setup for that either. But like, it's whatever. We're coming down on this movie a lot harder than we actually rated it as. Because like, again, it's
still
a fine movie.
It was
and
enjoyable. I did like the story. The only thing they fucked up was the villain.
Yeah, because you felt for like the villagers in this. I don't know, uncle, grandfather. See, I'm not even sure it is her grandfather, because like...
Yeah, that's kind of what she said.
Yeah, unclear. But yeah, the grandfather, like, he gets super upset at her for even thinking of taking these wishes away and being like, why would you try to tell me what a wish is that is so dangerous the king won't grant it? It's like, he even is thinking, like, if the king's not granting it, there must be good reasons for it.
And he has, like, years of experience. He's older and wiser.
Yeah. It's like, this man's 100 years old. His only wish is that his wish be granted. His one desire is to see that his heart's desire be fulfilled. And he's like, no, if the king's not granting this wish, it's dangerous. And it's just like the rest of the family are very much like, you shouldn't do this because it's just going to endanger everybody. And it's just like, it's just so sad.
It's like rebellious.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I don't think this movie sets up very well. There's almost a mishmash between the hero and the villain. Because, like, the hero is almost like a brave hero, where I will fight for my own hand. I don't give a shit what your rules are. But they also don't. But the king is more just like, I'm worried about people rebelling, and she is rebelling, and she's doing so. I mean, she has reasons for rebelling, but it's just like they don't really set up the main song and like, I'm gonna throw all caution to the wind. She doesn't know. There's no caution for her to throw away at that point. Like, it's like...
Yeah, all he did was tell her no.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to work for you. Or with you.
Yeah, because...
She has no magic. So it's like...
He has to have experience. He took one look at this wish. He's like, I see your grandfather's wish. It looks harmless, but I don't know. It's too vague.
Yeah, and that's his exact wordings. It's too vague. It's just like... The other thing I don't think they do a lot with is they set up that he knew her father. Like, her father's dead in this movie. And it sets up the, like, I knew your father.
Well, it seems like because he had everybody's wish, he knows everybody in town.
So, like, I feel like they almost wanted to set, like, if this was a different movie, I almost feel like they were going to set up her father was the one that betrayed him. That, like, he was like, no, you should grant more wishes. You're being too worried. Like, these people are not out to hurt you. They love you. Stop worrying so much. And they just do nothing with it. Yeah, it's like I feel like they could have, like, that would make more sense of to why he's so paranoid about her. That would have been fine. It's like,
but we get nothing. We get no context.
I think that's the big problem, is the villain is just weak. And it's weak because they just don't set up. They don't set it up.
Sell him. They do not sell him.
He's a good villain. His story makes logical sense at the point where we have it. Like, we don't know the backstory, but I can see where they're going with him, and I know what they want him to be. They just don't sell it well enough. It's like... Anything else you want to talk about in this movie? Like...
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the references.
Oh, okay.
So, guys, we mentioned before that this is the kingdom that appears...
This is literally Disney.
Yeah. It seems like they're trying to connect all their worlds.
Oh, yeah, because, again, they had Mary Poppins. They had Neverland. They
had Pan. They had Peter Pan before he went there.
Wasn't the deer's name Bambi?
The deer was named Bambi, so that would have had to happen before.
Yeah, don't figure out the timeline. It's the Disney. It's just Disney. They all exist at once.
But Star is the reason why animals can talk. Okay.
Yeah, she is literally the actual fairy godmother.
Fairy godmother from Cinderella. Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, she's like, okay.
As soon as she threw up her hood, I was like, yeah, you're fairy godmother.
Yeah, she's like, okay, yep. So it's like, she just literally is that fairy godmother.
So
I made the reference to, like, they almost did like a Shrek with him being the evil guy in the mirror, basically. It's like, I know they don't own Shrek, but not the point. But, like, they're clearly going for a lot of different fairy tale. Like, they had the talking bear. So it's like they had, what's the one big talking bear movie?
Blue?
No.
Jungle Book.
No, not Jungle Book. The animated one. I mean, Jungle Book animated, but you know what I mean. Like, the more, like, DreamWorks style animation.
Yogi?
No, newer.
Paddington?
No. It's not open season. It's a movie like that. I don't remember. It's gonna annoy the hell out of me. Hold on, let me look up.
Brother Bear?
Probably Brother Bear. Yeah, they had like the like Brother Bear or something like that. Bear. It's like, so I want to say it's not all Disney references. They are just vaguely referencing a lot of fantasy things, but. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff in this that are just like, they're either directly referencing or indirectly referencing pretty much every fantasy story ever written.
Yeah, and we saw the Disney S Kids logo. Is it
Yeah.
Disney S Kids? I can't remember. Or is it
I don't remember.
the Disney Channel logo? Like
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
they
he
had
was
the Disney
drawing.
ears. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, they had the Disney ears. Obviously the castle is literally the Disney castle.
Yes.
So, which now we know sits on an island in the middle of the Mediterranean.
Yeah. That was something.
So, oh boy,
I don't think there was really anything else
I don't
noticed.
I don't think so. They had the main girl is vaguely like she's vaguely Moana, vaguely um um
I don't remember the girl's name from Encanto.
Mirabelle. They had she's vaguely Moana, vaguely Mirabelle, vaguely the Princess and the Frog princess. I can't think of her name either. And I think there's one other that's kind of like in the middle of all those princesses. So I don't want to be so rude as to just say she is representation the princess, but it's like she's not.
She's
But
not the princess. She's the fairy godmother.
yeah,
from
she's
a
the fairy
princess
godmother.
movie.
But she's supposed to fit in that role of like, oh yes, you're that princess stereotype. And it's like,
Yeah, I
but
thought
yeah.
the queen was gonna dub her the new ruler or something, and that didn't
No.
happen.
Honestly, I think if the queen had like died or gone along with the king, she might have ended up being the person in charge, but like no.
No. But honestly, guys, it's a good movie. You should go watch it, but you're gonna get disappointed with the villain. I'm sorry.
It's a fine movie. I would recommend watching it. Again, if you don't want to spend the money on it and you want to watch on Disney Plus or want to watch it on DVD, that's fine. It's not a movie you should avoid, but it's not the greatest Disney movie of all time, but it's still good.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, that's going to be it for this hot take. We will come back next time with a new movie. Sort of. You'll see. Until then, we will see you all on the next hot take.
Goodbye.